The Great Pyramid of Giza, a marvel of ancient engineering, has been at the center of various theories beyond its conventional understanding as a tomb or a monument. One such intriguing idea is the power plant theory, which suggests that the pyramid was designed to harness energy. This theory significantly revolves around the pyramid's construction materials and its internal structure. The pyramid was primarily built using limestone and granite, materials that were readily available in nearby quarries. Interestingly, these materials contain quartz, a mineral known for its piezoelectric properties. This means that quartz can generate an electrical charge when subjected to mechanical stress. Supporters of the power plant theory believe that the ancient Egyptians didn't just choose these materials for their durability or looks, but for their potential in generating piezoelectricity. Particularly noteworthy is the king's chamber, constructed entirely of red granite, which has a higher quartz content. This chamber is thought to be the heart of the energy generation process, with the granite believed to amplify and focus the piezoelectric effect. Inside the king's chamber there's a large granite sarcophagus, but the theory suggests that it wasn't intended for a body. Instead, it might have been part of the pyramid's energy mechanism, perhaps used to resonate or store energy. The Queen's Chamber and the Grand Gallery also play crucial roles in this theory. The Queen's Chamber, though not made of granite, is strategically placed within the pyramid. The Grand Gallery, with its unique design, is thought to have served as a channel, directing energy to and from the King's Chamber. Another interesting aspect is the small shafts extending from the King's and Queen's chambers to the pyramid's exterior. Traditionally believed to be for ventilation or spiritual reasons, the theory posits that these shafts might have been used for directing energy or electromagnetic waves. The implications of this theory are vast. It suggests that the ancient Egyptians, or maybe even a civilization before them, had advanced knowledge of materials, science, and energy harnessing. This challenges the traditional view of the pyramid's purpose, proposing it was built not just as a tomb or monument, but as a functional structure for generating energy. However, it's important to note that this theory isn't widely accepted in the academic community. There's a lack of direct archaeological evidence supporting the idea that the ancient Egyptians used piezoelectricity, or had the technology to build a power plant. Most Egyptologists and archaeologists believe the pyramid's chambers, passageways and materials had religious and ceremonial significance related to the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. Now, let's dive into how the power plant theory breaks down. First up is the piezoelectric effect. Now, this might sound a bit technical, but it's actually a pretty simple idea. Some materials, like quartz, can produce electricity when they're put under stress. The pyramid's made of limestone and granite, which have bits of quartz in them. The theory goes that the natural movements of the earth, like earthquakes, could have put enough pressure on these quartz-containing stones to generate electricity. And get this, the theory even suggests that the design of the pyramid, especially in the king's chamber with all its granite, could have amplified this effect. The ancient builders might have figured out a way to harness this energy, though exactly how they might have done this is still up for debate. Then there's the idea of hydrodynamic power. Imagine the pyramid's underground chambers and passageways as a network for channeling water, possibly from the nearby Nile River. The movement and pressure of this water could have boosted the piezoelectric effect in the stones, creating more electricity. This part of the theory gives a nod to the ancient Egyptians' engineering skills, suggesting they could build a sort of hydrodynamic power plant. The last bit is about electromagnetic energy. The pyramid is precisely aligned and uniquely shaped, which the theory suggests was intentional to maximize energy harnessing. It's thought that the pyramid could have been designed to concentrate Earth's natural electromagnetic forces, acting like a giant antenna. The idea is that the pyramid's structure could focus this energy in specific areas, like the king's chamber. The mainstream view among archaeologists is that the pyramid was primarily a tomb and a monument, with its design reflecting religious and ceremonial significance. So while the power plant theory offers an exciting and imaginative look at the pyramid's purpose, suggesting a level of technological sophistication not usually associated with ancient civilizations. Now moving on to our last theory. The idea that the Egyptian pyramids, especially their internal structures, were designed to create or amplify sound is really captivating. This acoustic resonance chamber theory is part of a bigger picture, suggesting that ancient civilizations like the Egyptians knew a lot about sound and its capabilities. Let's break this down a bit. The theory proposes that the pyramids' chambers were built to vibrate at specific frequencies. Think of it like tuning a musical instrument to a certain note. These special frequencies, the theory suggests, might have been used for ceremonies, spiritual practices, or even healing. It's kind of like how certain sounds can make you feel different emotions or sensations. The design of the pyramid's inner chambers is a big deal in this theory. It's believed that their sizes and shapes were carefully planned to enhance these special sound frequencies. Take the Grand Gallery in the Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance. Its unique design could have been perfect for making certain sounds stronger or clearer. Now the materials used to build the pyramids, such as limestone and granite, are also important. These aren't just any building materials, they have properties that can affect sound. So, the choice of these materials might have been about more than just durability. They could have helped with the whole sound-enhancing thing. So, what was all this sound stuff used for? Well, the theory suggests a few things. One is that these resonating chambers were used in rituals. Sound was a big deal in ancient Egyptian culture, often linked to religious or spiritual experiences. Another idea is that these sounds had healing powers. This ties into the age-old concept of sound healing found in many cultures. There's also a thought that these sounds helped in communicating with the divine, kind of like a spiritual phone line. Researchers have actually done some experiments to study the pyramid's acoustic properties. They found that these chambers do have unique sound characteristics. But how to interpret these findings, that's where it gets tricky. This supports the theory a bit, considering how important music and sound were in ancient Egyptian culture. But the direct evidence connecting these sound properties to the pyramid's purpose is a bit thin. Before we finish, here are some interesting facts about the Great Pyramids of Giza. 1. The Great Pyramid was the tallest building in the world for 3,800 years. In fact, the first building to surpass its height was the Lincoln Cathedral in England, constructed in 1311. In comparison, the Pyramids of Khafre is 448 feet tall, which is about 100 feet taller than the Statue of Liberty. The third main pyramid, the Pyramid of Menkaure, is much shorter at 213 feet. This is about the same height as the famous sails on Australia's Sydney Opera House. 2. Egyptologists are not 100% sure how the pyramids were built, but the most popular belief is that they were constructed by the Egyptian people as an act of civil service. In fact, experts believe that 20,000 to 30,000 skilled masons, engineers, architects, surveyors and other craftsmen constructed the Khufu temple. Furthermore, historians have estimated that over 100,000 construction workers were involved in the overall construction of the pyramids of Giza. 3. It's believed that the pyramid once had an invisible swivel door weighing almost 20 tons. Interestingly, it could only be identified and opened from the inside. It's no surprise, then, that the door was so heavy that the opening mechanism was only discovered when scientists were studying the Great Pyramid. The Egyptians' ability to create and manage this effective feature has remained a mystery to date. 4. The tombs under the pyramids initially stored human remains and gifts that their spirits would take with them to the afterlife. This was extremely common in the 9th century. However, once the pyramids were opened to the public, a lot of looting left the chambers bare, apart from Khufu's red granite sarcophagus.